All right, and welcome to our next webinar here at the Blockchain Professionals YouTube channel and internal channels on We Are Community. And my name is Alec. I will be hosting the session as a moderator, and I'm very happy to introduce you to our today's guest, to our today's friend of the Blockchain Professionals community. We'll be speaking about the topic of making blockchain data AI native. That will be in the format of a workshop. But before we start, just a couple of reminders about the format of this event. We will be just having something in the style of a workshop. But anyway, you can drop your questions in the live chats wherever you are watching this video. And closer to the end of this session, I will be helping out our today's speaker with all that questions, and we'll be addressing all that questions during the second part, as I said. And yeah, if you are new here, this is a community of like-minded professionals. We are not selling anything. We are not promoting any tokens, anything, any financial advices, etc. So just feel free to jump in, to subscribe on our social pages wherever possible, and to just share your thoughts, share your experience, and share your use cases and all the things about blockchain. And I'm now very happy to invite Carol to the stage. Just give me a second. Hello, Carol. I hope you're here with us.
Yes. Hi everyone.
Yeah,
Should I
first of all,
start
many
or?
thanks for many thanks for joining. And before we start, just I'd like to ask you to say a couple of words about yourself and about your background.
Sure. Thank you, Alec. My name is Karel Balok. I am a product lead at SQD, previously Subsquid, and what we are solving here is blockchain access to all the blockchain data out there, and how to retrieve the data in the best possible way. And yeah, I think that's like the short intro, and will speak more about what we do in the presentation.
All right, and I think I can see your presentation now. It's here on the stage, and just a second. Yeah, it seems like everything is working properly, and we are good to start.
All right, perfect. So as Alex said, I'm not here to sell anything, no tokens, nothing at all. I'm honestly quite excited to speak about this topic because it's quite close to my heart or close to my um, let's say interest. Because for the longest time ever, AI couldn't really handle blockchain data or even blockchain data at all. AI couldn't even understand it, couldn't come up with anything meaningful, and I'm here now to present something that we've been working internally at SQD, but also me and some of my side projects, and how I think it will evolve over the at least couple of the next months or the next year as well. So I'm here to present what we do, then how I managed to create over by now 60 AI indexers over several chains, and how it doesn't take me weeks or months, but it takes me literally minutes. And yeah, so let's just start. By the way, as I said, my name is Karel, and I'm in the product team at SQD. So I could be speaking also just about crypto, right? How this is just tied to blockchain. It is to some extent, but it's not entirely. So this speech is about blockchain, of course, but it is about blockchain for, I think the main reason is that it's accessible, it's out there, right? It's not behind some paywalls. It is, but you can all go to some explorers and see the data, and there's open market, so people are literally competing with each other. It's not like, let's say, some defense data, right, or some maybe market data from some of the consulting companies. It's literally behind paywall. So what I'm trying to say here is that there are industries where the data is hard, such as here, right? And with my speech here today, or workshop, I want to prove that if we can solve it with blockchain, I think all other industries can be solved. So why is blockchain data hard? So of course, if you use some centralized APIs, if you use anything like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, anything super simple, yes, that works fine, but it's really just the simple use case. Some of our clients, they need super customizable, super complex pipelines, and for that, they need indexers such as us. And in order to build an indexer, you need to build your own logic that's built from the logs, from traces. Each chain is specific. Some of the RPCs cannot be trusted, and just requires a lot of time, right? That's like the hardest problem, because you need a lot of people to handle this, and it takes a lot of time. You cannot build anything within a couple of hours. For example, when I tried to build my own project a couple of years ago, I spent on it actually like a few months, and now I would have been able to solve it within literally a couple of hours. So I think that's a huge progress in the industry. AI in general needs interfaces, right? So we need to make sure that AI is fed with machine readable data. If we feed it some like raw, not decoded data, AI will just spend a lot of context, right? And you will run out of quote max subscription literally within a couple of hours, because yeah, it's just not really convenient. Of course, when I was building our MCP server, I realized that if I just pass over the data that we have, which is at the moment primarily raw decoded data, it's fine. But once again, AI will spend a lot of tokens on consuming the data, and then it doesn't really yet know how to work with it. So in order for AI to work with it, you just need to give it clear boundaries. So first of all, it knows how to work, and then it's faster. And yeah, just a general claim here, statement here is that, of course, I'm a product manager. A couple of years ago, I wouldn't be even able to do this. Now I'm able to do it, and like I created over 50 indexers in a couple of days, and that's something that would have never been possible like a couple of years ago. So this is kind of like a motivational, I guess, statement here, is that if you still think that you cannot do anything, I think you're just not spending enough time with AI nowadays. So what is SQD? So SQD started, it's not some high project that started last year, and I'm once again not trying to sell here anything, but we've been here for over 5 years by now. We used to be called Subsquid, and the company started as the alternative to the main company in the indexing space called the Graph. So we are trying to solve the data access via having a decentralized network called SQD Network, where we store the data sets, and each data set is replicated. And that's pretty much the decentralized data engine. Everyone can run a node. For example, T-Mobile runs nodes, and then, for example, if one node goes down, the data still can be retrieved from other nodes across the network. And then we recently introduced a new product called Portal, which is HTTP API for the blockchain data. So with one API call, you can stream data for 100K blocks across multiple VMs. We recently introduced Bitcoin, Hyperliquid. So that's about the convenience. And Pipes SDK is our latest, I guess, product update on our end. We are trying to get into GA, general availability, quite soon, and it's our second SDK. It's very lightweight, not opinionated, which our previous SDK was, and it's entirely customizable. So whatever you want to do, I think you should be able to. So for example, I will show you later, but Pipes SDK is the primary reason why I'm able to now give you this presentation. So how everything that I was just speaking fit together, right? So all of us are used to going to some interface. Let's ChatGPT, Claude. Some of us use it as a desktop app, right, or in terminal. The interface at the end of the day is the same. We are still in the era where there is prompt, right, either from the user or agent. In this case, I will be speaking about how I managed to automate the first step, that I don't even have to do a prompt, and the agent creates a prompt for me, and then it translates the prompt into request into via the MCP server that I created, and it queries the data and it sees if the prompt or the angle makes sense. For example, does it is the data even available on the blockchain, right? So how much oil has been traded on Hyperliquid in the past week? So that's maybe question for me. Agent takes it and makes much more sophisticated prompt. That prompt is then taken and into the MCP server, and the MCP server checks if the data is even there. And then via the Portal API, that's pretty much the MCP server. I get some preliminary results, and based on that, I'm able to then validate if it makes sense or doesn't make sense to continue. And via Pipes SDK, I then create fully working indexer, which then can be either developed locally or pushed, for example, to ClickHouse Cloud or any other cloud solution. So each layer is independent, but once it's connected, it creates like one of the best, I think, solutions that's available at the moment, because what I'm presenting at the moment is not something 1 year old. It's literally something that was developed 2 or 4 weeks ago. So, which is exciting. So, as I said, just to give you more context on what's the actual problem, because some of you may not be that familiar, of course, with blockchain and the data access problem that has been here for the longest time that I remember. So as I said, if you ever imagine that you are a founder and you want to build a data analytics dashboard, let's say for EVM chains. So of course, let's say if you're a founder, most likely you may not be that technical. So you will need to hire people, 2 or 4, maybe more, and you will spend, or you had to spend previously like thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to figure out how to retrieve the data, like what's the best solution, how to work with the data, create the schemas, check the logic, etc., and then trust that you will end up in a good state, right? The outputs, not that great because of course the speed of everything. So once again, it relies on the developer doing a really good job, not missing any events, any types of events. And blockchain data is, in some cases, for example, money markets, there is just one source of truth at the moment, which may be subgraphs in some cases. So there is not really, let's say, 10 alternatives where you can compare your data points to the others. So you just have to believe that the data is correct. So all of this just makes it slow, very expensive if you're a founder. And going from an idea to prototype used to literally take weeks or months. But now I believe we are going to a time era where it's going to take hours. So as I said, what I'm about to present you or show you later is our MCP server and the Pipes SDK, and how I'm able to create indexers via quite fine-tuned agent skills that I've been working on. So each of those, as I already explained, has different use case. So MCP is more about show me the schema for these events, show me what happened in the past 1 hour, verify if the data is correct or it's out there, and it's not really for, of course, longer time series. So, but once again, now it can take minutes or hours. I remember that this literally used to take weeks. Internally, we had to deal with some of these situations last year, and I remember when we were working, trying to retrieve Aave, which is a lending protocol, and the rates over some time period. It literally took us over a week, and yeah. So now I'm really excited because now it literally can take minutes or hours. So as I already also explained, the one of the layers is also Portal. And so what Portal is that it's a streaming ND JSON across over 200 networks, sub 1 second, not 200 milliseconds. That's a typo there. It gives you pre-decoded type JSON, not raw hex call data that you can see, for example, on block explorers. It handles the reorgs, which are some of the chains. From time to time, there's reorg. Most likely, some of you may have maybe experienced it on Polygon, which is quite complex. And then if you don't know how to handle it, it's an issue. So we handle it for you in the backend. And Portal, as its API endpoint, can work across pretty much everywhere where you are used to work. It's a streaming method, so it streams the data to wherever you want, and via one endpoint you can stream data from multiple virtual machines. By that I mean from Ethereum ecosystem, from Polkadot ecosystem, from Hyperliquid, Bitcoin, or from Solana as well. What it's not, of course, is a Finnish analytics app, or let's say it's not a magic black box, right, that you just ask and you retrieve the data. It's not that yet, but maybe it will be in the future with the help of AI. Let's see. So here is like the first, I guess, sneak peek of the MCP efforts on my end. So I created an MCP server. It's still a beta. I call it version 0.75 at the moment, and but I'm quite happy with the current state already. So at the moment, it supports all the VMs that I just mentioned earlier. So you can ask questions about Hyperliquid, or in this case, Monad, and you can retrieve some information that's not even available in some of the analytics apps, or some of the centralized providers. So you just connect it to Claude or to GPT or to any other environment, and you can work with it. So it's quite exciting, and I will show you another live demo a bit later. And as I said, Pipes SDK, it's a lightweight library, and it's you can use it for any transformations and things you need. So if you want ClickHouse, you can pass the data to ClickHouse. If you need Postgres, you can use Postgres. It's real up to you, and it's more, I think, suitable for this AI era than the subgraph architecture, which is quite opinionated, quite not lightweight at all, and there are many dependencies. So we are also working on Pipes CLI, which would give you or or AI a project with clear boundaries, clear files, and and then you can debug it or extend it up to you. But I'm having a problem saying you because it will be most likely AI. I will show you later as well. So the old way of retrieving data was you had to literally spend hours on researching the docs of those protocols. In this case, for example, Aave. You had to then check that the contracts are indeed correct, because it's not that easy. The contracts may differ across chains. You also had to check that you have the correct ABI. You then had to design the schemas based on the ABI and just make sure that it works. You had to check the deployment block, that's correct. So you actually get some data and you don't get empty database. And then you had to set up everything. So if it's ClickHouse, you had to set up the dashboard, you had to set up the validation if you wanted. And then it wasn't just you, right? It was, as I said, multiple people. And then you just had to hope that the data is correct. And maybe in a couple of weeks or days, you would get some data. Now, what I'm presenting or will present quite short is that you can use agent skills. Then via the Pipes CLI and the Pipes SDK create scaffold the project. And via AI, let's say Claude in this case, you can extend it very well just based on some super basic prompt or screenshot, and then either work with it locally or push it to ClickHouse Cloud or anywhere else, and it works. It works, and I have validated myself based on running over 60 indexers across EVM, Solana, and Hyperliquid. And I'm surprised positively surprised how well it works. So I also created this validation layer that I'm using the Portal MCP or API, whatever works better in that case for validation. There are several layers, and after each indexer was created, I also asked for creating this document called improvements, and then automatically creating fixes to the agent skills. So I ran over 30 indexers, and I had maybe 25 pull requests that have been merged. And by now, there are not that many improvements anymore, and the agent skills have been quite fine-tuned just based on this real word testing. So I will spend a bit more time on this slide because I think it's the most, I guess, interesting one in this presentation. So just so you don't think that I'm just telling you something that doesn't exist, it already exists. It's very real, and I think it will only get better. So as I said, yeah, as I said, you really have to just fail maybe 1,000 times and to get to this state, and I did, and I'm glad that I did. And now you can really create some really cool indexers really based on some basic prompts. So such as I really tested to some extent. So I went to this, for example, Aave analytics app, which is quite known, and I literally, as you can see in the top left corner, I said create an Aave v3 indexer on Ethereum that gets me this data, and I just attached the screenshot, and you can see the output. The output was not perfect based on my analysis. It was maybe 95% great, but my point is that this was possible within maybe a couple of minutes or 30 minutes. Maybe there was maybe one fail maximum back then, but it's possible. So I think that's really exciting, and imagine the use cases in the future. On the right side, top right corner, I wanted to test it even to a higher degree, and I went to Morpho, which is one of the most well-known money market protocols, and I went to this one vault that they have, and I also attached a screenshot. I attached the URL, and I said I literally said I want to get the same data that Morpho has in this table, and I got it. So I think that's a bit insane, and I'm really happy that we are that far already. On the right, in the right corner, you can also see a dashboard that I got via retrieving data from Hyperliquid. So I wanted to test if the agent skills can work with Hyperliquid, and they can. So I got over 41 millions of data points, fills, which is a trade data from Hyperliquid, and I was able to segment the data by type. So in this case, I asked something like, please find a good angle for the data that was discussed in the past week. And Claude came back to me and said, hey, here are the articles that have been discussed regarding to Hyperliquid. And it was, most of them were about oil and the recent situation in Iran and how oil or TradFi is being more and more, let's say, integrated into Hyperliquid, and more people are trading it, the assets. And that's how I got the dashboards. And I think the best example so far is that Aave recently launched their V4 protocol on March 30th, and which was last week. And my colleague challenged me on Slack to create this dashboard maybe at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., and I managed to do it within 45 minutes. While I was doing something else, I just let Claude do it in the bypass permission mode, and it managed to do it. And that's also something that used to take weeks. So I think if you were a bit skeptical about what I've been saying so far, I feel like these screenshots should show you that we are already there. So yeah. So just to clarify what I was just saying. So the prompt was create an indexer for Aave V4. I want a comprehensive dashboard that I can share on X. Find the correct angle what to show. It launched 1 or 2 hours ago, and I think I also attach the docs from Aave. But yeah, it managed to do really well, and I think we are the only solution on the market that can do it in this way. So before I go further, I think I will show you how the MCP works. So let me just share the full screen. Okay.
I think it's working properly now. We can see the entire screen and the Claude is open now.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I will just test the MCP just to give you a bit of context how it works. So you have to, I believe you have to have a Pro account, and then in the connectors you have to connect it via a custom connector. In this case, I have it here already connected, and I have over 30 tools here. So I have a tool for each VM. So in this case, Solana, transactions, instructions, for Hyperliquid as well, for Bitcoin. And more information is in our docs, which are called beta.docs.sqd.dev. I will share it at the end of my presentation. So I was just speaking about Hyperliquid, so I will just show you what it can do. So I will ask Claude to simply show me all trades about oil on Hyperliquid in the past 1 hour. And let's see what it does, and I will show you based on the request that Claude will be doing what it does. So first of all, I didn't have to mention Portal API MCP at all. Claude is smart enough to understand what it needs to use. So here is something that I will need to fix, but here you see that Claude is trying once again. So it's he sees that there are 5 tools for Hyperliquid, and it's already searching for all related traits. Here you can see that I will need to improve the MCP server a bit more because he's searching for our coin called oil, but there is of course no coin called oil because the as you can see here, the ticker is different. So it's either CL or Brent oil or US oil. So Claude is smart enough to understand that he was wrong, and he's already searching for the fills. And as you can see here, he was searching for the 3 coins above. And here you can see that he got already the data from Hyperliquid, which Hypercore, which is quite hard to get. And here you can see that it's already building the dashboard and breakdown per each ticker. Here we already have some metrics, the PNL, total fills, over 58,000 trades, over 1,000 unique traders, and the total volume is nearing $200 million. I feel like it will take quite some time for Claude to render the dashboard, but here you can see that within, okay, it didn't take much time. You can see that within a couple of seconds, I can get really, I think, cool and actionable insights across chains via our MCP server. So I could go more and more on Hyperliquid, but I just want to demonstrate that we don't only serve data for Hyperliquid, but we serve data for multiple chains. So I will ask, okay, what about, okay, show me amount of transactions on Monad and Base in the past 1 hour. So now it's using a different tool, and once again it ran into some error, but here once again it's searching for another ones, and here you can see that I had to really define each tool and the limits and the schemas for it to work well. It was some try and error, but I feel like once I get to reasonable good version, maybe version 1 and higher, it will work really good. So here you can see that it got already, here it was searching for Monad in the 5-minute intervals for transaction counts. Here you can see that I got only partial data. That's also something that I will need to fix in the MCP server, because there is high density of there's high amount of data on these type of chains such as Monad or Base. So here you can see that the data is only partial, but the point here is that we can already get this data via one MCP, via one endpoint, and you can then ask for, okay, add it to one dashboard with Hyperliquid data, and we can get data across chains via one endpoint, and you can not only ask for data from the past 1 hour, but you can restore all the data in most of the cases. So you can ask what happened on January 4th, 2018. Compare January 4th, 2018 on Ethereum with, for example, Phantom, now Sonic. Compare January 4th, 2022 on Ethereum with Solana, right? Maybe in some tools you may be asking to validate if this wallet address was active in that time period. It's very, very difficult to do it with any RPCs. It's very, very difficult to do it even with any of the structured centralized API providers. Most of them don't even have the data, and most of them put it behind some of the paywall. So I really believe that what I'm just showing you right now is quite unique, and it's really not replicatable at the moment, because most of the other solutions simply don't have the data. So yeah, here is the dashboard, and of course, if I ask Claude to do more, it would. So that's the MCP server demo, and let me show. This is the chat in Claude. I will then go to Claude code tab, and then let me just show you how I can do more. So here we saw, for example, here we saw the 3 tickers, right? All trades on Hyperliquid for CL, Brent oil, and US oil. So let me just copy this and ask Claude to create an indexer that shows me data for the past 30 days and to find a meaningful metrics or angle to show me in the dashboard. So I will say create an indexer for oil trades on Hyperliquid and 3 tickers that I copied from the previous chat. Find the correct metrics and angles to showcase in the dashboard. Dashboard time frame last 30 days. Or let me just do last 7 days because of the time. And here I want to show you what it will do. So of course, I'm doing here a bit dangerous mode, bypass permission mode. You can do of course any mode you want, but so far it has been working well for me. So I'm doing that one. So now the first thing Claude did, it launched skill, generate indexer. It's one of the skills that I've created, and I will link it at the end of the workshop or presentation. And now, based on that indexer, it started researching existing Hyperliquid examples and understanding the patterns, and then it will build the all trades indexer. So since I'm working in the AI pipes repo, it has some extra context. There are maybe 6 or 7 Hyperliquid indexers that he can reference. So he's, as you can read here, he already did it, and he checked all the context. So he checked that I, for example, had this oil crisis indexer. It tracked this. There was this data range. I used ClickHouse. And I used, there were these validation checks. So I think the starting line for Claude is quite good, only based on that context. And here, here you can see that what it searched for in the agent skills and in the context. So it already knows what's the query builder patterns. It already knows how the environment validation wizard works. It already knows how the code blocks, what it needs to do, how the Docker Compose YAML file should be structured, etc. So here you can see that it created a to-do list. It's updating one of the indexers that already was created. It updates it with the tickers that we copied. By the way, this is not this is not anything that I was planning. It's actually random, so I was not preparing for this copy pasting. And then It will redesign the dashboard with price spread, volume by ticker, and sentiment. It will start ClickHouse. It will run the indexer, wait for data, and then it will run validation, capture, screenshot, and update metadata. So let me just go back to the slides and come back to Claude in a bit. Just 1 second. So I'm here back at AI Pipes. So AI Pipes is the repo that I was just where I was just running running Claude Code, and it's a repo where I managed to get the list of top 100 in protocols in DeFi across all the chains, and then I asked Claude to create an indexer for each one of them. So I didn't create the prompt, Claude did. It found the angle. Then via the pipe CLI and the agent skills, it got the working project. It always validated the data via cross-check against Portal and transaction level truth. And by now, there's over 60 indexers shipped. There's also a typo here, not in under 12 weeks, but in under maybe 2 or 3 weeks. You can check the repo. I will link it at the end of the presentation. And that's honestly something which shouldn't be possible, but it is already. And each of these indexers produces also a dashboard, which is something that, for example, I can then go and link on X or elsewhere, and it just makes everything easier. So what AI Pipes for me, or for this workshop, proves that it's already possible to work with blockchain data via AI. It's already possible to create even the most complex stuff out there with AI. You just need the right tools. And the right tools in this case is, for example, Pipes CLI, Pipes SDK, the whole data infra that we have. Without that, it wouldn't be possible, of course. But the point is, if anyone thought that it would be possible to do this in a couple of years, no. The answer is no, and it's already possible now. So, as I said, I validate the data via Portal MCP or Portal API in general. And why I'm doing it, that without verification, the AI output would be just an output, right? But if we can add at least like a small level of validation in the quotation, like it just makes everything better, meaning that I don't have to then spend hours just triple checking that the data actually makes sense, and I can just already trust a layer that already has validated for me, because the portal doesn't take only one source of data, but we take data from multiple sources, and we have over 6 steps of validation. So once an indexer is created, I ask for a cross-reference. So the portal MCP queries the same events that I do in the indexer, and it compares the counts, and it must match within 5% tolerance. Then it picks 2 or 3 real transactions. It verifies field by field against the source chain, and once again, it must match. If it doesn't, the indexer needs to be rewritten from scratch, not from scratch, but updated, extended, and yeah, each one has to be validated, which is something, of course, that's not that, let's say, sexy to sell or talk about, but it's one of the most important, impactful, I think, layer of all of this. What actually breaks or broke until recently was, for example, the timestamp. So in the agent skills, I had to explicitly say use this because ClickHouse was silently interpreting datetime as milliseconds. So instead of, for example, normal timestamp datetime, I got 1970 for everything. And it took me a lot of, like, of course, tries and errors to understand how to get there. But but that's what had to be done, and that's why the agent skills now work well. So the other thing is hallucination. So one of the biggest actually problems, I think, in the whole, I guess, idea to indexer, I guess, process is the hallucination. So once you have an idea, for example, create an indexer for Aave, you need to go, as I said, go to the docs, get the right contract addresses, get the deployment block, and that needs to be correct. What Claude or any other AI LLM is now doing is that if it doesn't know the answer, it just says, "Hey, this is correct. I got the correct contract address, but it's not correct." So it's one of the reasons why I created my personal project called Edibook, and Edibook is a site that gives you over by now 187 protocols with contract addresses, and in some cases also deployment blocks. So it's I'm not selling here anything. It's free. You can use it, and I'm not trying to monetize at all. It's free, and I only created it because I ran into so many issues with AI when creating indexers. And yeah, let me stop sharing and go back to Claude. One second. Okay, so since I left here, and you also the to-dos, so what it did was that it updated the indexer for the three all tickers with dynamic 7-day lookback. It updated the validation script for the three all tickers. Then redesigned the all benchmark comparison. Dropped the table drop the all table, restarted ClickHouse, ran the indexer, ClickHouse worked, the table got dropped. And here you can see that while I was talking, like within seconds, we had over 90,000 rows of data already. And now it must be over 200,000 rows, 352,000 rows, and data covers only April 6 and April 7. So now it's taking screenshot, and let's see if, okay. Okay, not sure why it's not loading for me in the browser, but here you can see what it just created. Okay, oh, because it's the old one, sorry. So give me just a couple of seconds and I will show you the dashboard from, okay, I see, it's this one. So here is the dashboard that was created while I was just talking or finishing my presentation with the three old tickers, as you can see, WTI, Brent, and US oil. Here you can see the prices from April 6, which is history, until now. And of course, it's not formatted well. It should be formatted better, but that's a minor thing, in my opinion. Here you can see the long-short sentiment by each ticker. So how, long and short percentage. Here you can see the daily volume. Of course, if you had more data, the chart would be much better. And here you can see that the top all traders by volume. So this kind of dashboard with this kind of data would have taken me personally, and let's see if and would have taken me personally a couple of days, weeks, and a couple of years ago it would have taken me months. So to get this kind of data right, validated, and in this kind of, I guess, design level. But now it literally took me 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So that's, in my opinion, quite innovative, and and I'm really excited where this is going to, I guess, innovate further, where this is going to advance, and I think I will finish my presentation here. And if there are any questions, let's answer it. Just maybe last point from my side. If you want to check out of anything that I was showcasing, you can go to our docs, which are called beta.docs.sqd.dev. And then if you want to check out the agent skills, just go to the AI tab, and the agent skills are right here. And if you want to check the MCP server is right here with instructions. And here you can find all other materials such as the Open API schemas or the full LLMs, full text files, etc., or available datasets, JSON, that should help you. And yeah, if you have any questions even after the workshop, or you're just curious, just ping me on on my Telegram or LinkedIn. I guess Ali can share it afterwards. And yeah,
Yeah, sure. I will be.
Yeah, that's just, I guess, all from my end. And let me just stop sharing.
Yeah, I will be definitely adding all those things that you mentioned, including the documentation, in the description of the video on the platforms where we will be publishing this video, including YouTube. And yeah, Carol, thank you so much for this session. That was really enjoyable to hear how things got much faster these days compared to how it was back then. And we have a bunch of questions, so I'm not. I will not be asking too much questions from my side, since we have a lot of questions from the audience. And let me just quickly bring them up one by one. And the first question says, what artifacts should a business analyst produce for a blockchain AI project, and what specific requirements are needed as part of that BA effort? I'm not sure if that's in the context of the video, since this question has been published before the event started in advance. But still, if you have any comments on this, Carol, please go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fully, just to be clear, I don't fully understand the question here, but I think I will just maybe rephrase it, and I will rephrase what, let's say, the old definition of analyst and the kind of analyst should kind of evolve in the future, right? So if you are used to working with, for example, I was working in a consulting company as an analyst, and I was working with Excel all the time. I believe if you are any kind of analyst, you should just evolve into much more versatile type of person. So you should be comfortable with many other tools, not only Excel. You should be comfortable with Python. You should be comfortable with, to be honest, with any other tools. You should understand how the tools differ, and how much, for example, why you should use ClickHouse for blockchain data instead of Postgres if you want to go into blockchain data context. Otherwise, yeah, I think, for example, how my position as a PM evolved over the past 2 years. So analysts need to evolve as well. And yeah, I guess I didn't really answer the question, but but to my
But
defense,
anyway, yeah, thank you for the comments. And let's move to the next question, which says, looking ahead to next year, do you think we will reach a point where AI agents will not only query data, but also make autonomous financial decisions based on that data without any human intervention?
I think it's already happening, of course, on a smaller scale, but you can already see that there are some efforts with on the payment side. So both the X402 and even the MPP recently efforts from Stripe. It's already happening on a small scale in crypto or in DeFi. It's already there. There are AI agents, protocols that already take decisions on their own. And the question, of course, I think the hardest part, of course, is the reliability, because in order for it to scale and to get to enterprise world, you need to be 100% correct, and so we are still not there. So it's hard to say, but with the way how it's evolving, I wouldn't be surprised if it was done in a couple of months.
All right. And one more question asks, how does SQD actually compare to the graph in terms of cost and speed for a mid-sized startup? Is it cheaper to run?
Yeah, so we have a different, of course, different pricing models, but yeah, generally it's way cheaper and also way faster to backfill data. So, for example, one of our customers that migrated from the graph, also a big money market protocol, they migrated because resync took them weeks on the graph, and they couldn't allow it, and with us it took them in some cases a couple of hours, maximum days. And in terms of costs, we do have a cloud solution. You can see the costs online and compare, but generally speaking, yes, it should be cheaper and way faster for a mid-sized startup.
All right. And another question says, shouldn't there be any privacy concerns? I think it's not detailed enough, but I think it's something in the context of sending your data to the AI agent or something.
I mean, that's a difficult question because I don't fully once again understand what the author tried to say here, because crypto or is by default quite decentralized, right? Or the data is already anonymized, right, by default. Of course, we can go get into details that it's in some cases it's not, but yeah. So I don't fully understand the question here. So
All right.
in
Yeah.
order,
So
like, just to
Mhm.
give you, like, we don't store any data. So if there are any concerns with using the MCP, yeah, we are not storing any data, and so you don't need to worry about anything.
All right. Yeah. So whoever left that question, please make sure to add some details and we can come back to that once again. And one more question is asking, how hard is it for a non-technical founder to build production grade indexer on their own?
I mean, I just showed you during this presentation, right, that it takes minutes to get to a prototype kind of level, and of course, a production grade indexer on your own is something that's a bit harder, of course, but I think it's doable. You can, if I could go a step further and I could deploy it, what I just showed you, to ClickHouse Cloud. You could hire maybe someone to audit the code and the setup, just maybe for a day, and not have it as a full-time employee, but just audit the setup. That would be cheaper for you. But I think what I just showcased here is that it's possible, and then it depends what's your definition of production grade. But in terms of the data, all the data that you can access and that I show you is already production grade, because the same endpoint that our customers use from Portal, you can use as well. So we don't differentiate by the quality, and we are not planning to do so.
Okay, and I see one last question. It asks, how far back does your data actually go for older chains, and is the indexing quality the same for some ancient blocks as it's for the real ones?
Yeah, so you can check the support that we have in our docs, but for most of the chains we go back to the genesis, so back to zero. We are among one or two, I think, providers on the market that offers the whole archive of Solana data, which is really rare and unique. And we don't offer it only for Solana, we offer it for most of the chains that we support. So for Ethereum, for example, for Polygon and others. And of course, the quality is the same indexing wise, but as I was explaining earlier, how our decentralized architecture works. So, for example, the replication factor may be a bit smaller on the older all their chunks, all their blocks, but that shouldn't differ the shouldn't harm the quality at all. So I think, yeah, you can reach out to me if you have any more questions. But I hope I answered everything.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that was the last question. Just let me quickly check some of the other platforms where the streaming is running to check if we didn't forget any of the questions. And it seems like that was it for today. Yeah, thank you so much, Carol, for such a wonderful workshop, for such a wonderful hands-on part of the workshop as well, showing us how to do that, especially for non-technical audience as well. Being able to build 60 or something indexers, as far as I remember from your speech, that was really insane. Now, I mean, it should have been insane back then, but now it's it's a normal thing. And yeah, I think everyone is happy about how the entrance barriers are disappearing these days. And yeah, I will definitely put everything in the description under the videos wherever we will be publishing it, and please expect that within a day. And if someone is watching this as a recording, feel free to leave your questions in the comment section wherever you are watching this, or join our community and reach out to me if you will be having any questions. I can connect you directly with Carol. And yeah, thanks again, Carol.
Yeah, likewise, and happy to come back any time. And I hope it was useful and worth it for everyone that was watching or listening.
Yeah, have a great week, everyone. Thanks for joining, and bye bye.
Thank you.